These young women stare back at us from the years between the wars. They are further examples of Countess Ingigerd's ability to capture personality in her art. We have seen the portraits from the Keepers of the Commonwealth exhibition. Now we turn to the remaining 17 paintings. 2 of them were landscapes. This is Magleby Kirk, the family church of the Ahlefelds, where, among other family members, Countess Ingigerd's parents are buried. The other 15 paintings are all non-military portraits. These paintings present us with a puzzle. Why were they still in the Countess's possession so long after they were painted? As far as we know, they are all pre-war. One even sports a Paris fashion from the late 1920s. When these paintings were rediscovered, it was thought that some might be unfinished. This is evidently not so. Gallery and catalogue numbers can be seen on the reverse of almost all of them. The larger canvases have very little background work, but lavish colours on the dresses. There can be no question, however, that it was the faces that mattered. The smaller pastels are exquisite. They can only be appreciated by noting the use of crayon, as the Countess called it, in her 1930 exhibition catalogue, to build up the image. The texture of the material can still be seen clearly, and traces come off on the hand if touched. It is a minor miracle that these works have survived so long with relatively little damage. Oil paintings on canvas are much more resilient. Nevertheless, there is some damage here too. Thankfully, all of these paintings can be easily restored. There are 3 oil portraits of men, each of whom appears to be a priest or holy man. The painting of a Russian Orthodox priest is the largest canvas found. In her 1936 exhibition in London and New York, Countess Ingigerd included a portrait of the Reverend Father Bear, who was the head of the Russian Church in Britain at that time. That painting is almost identical to our priest. Both have the same background that includes an alcove on the left that leads outside. Who this man is in our painting is still a mystery. The smallest canvas found, and the only oil painting that was framed, is a superb portrait of a bearded old man in excellent condition. Perhaps more than any other, this painting shows what Countess Ingigerd was capable of. The third portrait is also very interesting. Is this man a Buddhist? Countess Ingigerd painted several Eastern holy men in the 1930s. This may well turn out to be one of those portraits. Finally, in our non-military collection, we have 2 pencil sketches. These are truly wonderful works. The old man resembling von Hindenburg, a modern name for ease of identification, is sadly not the great German general, but an impressive character all the same. A close look at this work will reveal an oversized outline around the finished figure. Even the signature, IAL, has been written with this larger shadow present. And last, but certainly not least, the young lady resembling Ingigerd Ahlefeldt. Is this an early self-portrait? If so, it is nearly 100 years old. When inquiries were ongoing regarding these portraits, an old friend of the Countess was shown this painting without comment. She believes that this is indeed a self-portrait. Because of the status of many of the people who commissioned the Countess to paint their portraits during the 1930s, there is every chance that some of the sitters in these non-military portraits may well be members of very well-connected families. Who were these young women who sat for the Countess over 80 years ago? Who are these holy men captured so strikingly in oils in the years before World War II? It's down to you, the public, to identify them. Is one of these men or women your grandfather or great-grandmother?